loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten, and in today's video it is Battle of the Booktuber week 5, which is the battle recommendations. So this was put in by Danny. If you haven't watched the previous 4 videos on Battle of the Booktuber, I'll have the playlist linked below where it's not just my videos, it's everybody's videos. But basically there are 5 of us battling it out to see who can be the best book recommender on BookTube. It's really fun to do. Go check out all of my competitors. They are absolutely amazing. So Danny's the one that came up with this. We then have Victoria, Leandra, Rainey and Sam. Go check all of them out. They are absolutely lovely. And in this battle recommendations, it is completely separate to the first 4. So in the first 4 videos, if you've seen them, you'd know that we had to give 2 genres and we would receive book recommendations based on those genres. So I gave cozy and horror. But for the battle recommendations, anything goes. So we were given 1 book each by each competitor. I would choose 2 of those to read. I don't know who's recommended what, but the 4 that I was given, we have Jane Steele, Delegate Dream Department Store, Arrival Most Vile, and Green Teeth. Now I have decided to go with Green Teeth, I own a copy of, and also Arrival Most Vile. Now what's interesting is Arrival Most Vile was actually recommended to me by somebody else. That was the second option for cozy in week 3. Honestly, I've had so many duplicate recommendations. It makes me really excited. The only one I haven't been able to read out of all the duplicate recommendations I was given is A Dark and Secret Magic, which I am going to read because I'm curious to have been recommended it twice, but it just was never in the #1 spot for me to read. So I am reading Green Teeth. This one is by Molly O'Neill. I bought a physical copy. This is actually a book that was on my anticipated releases radar, something that I really wanted to read. Very, very excited to see that on here. And then Arrival Most Vile, which is by R.K. Ashwick. And this is a book I was really excited to read, and when I was a bit upset it wasn't in the #1 spot for week 3's cozy choices. So I was very excited to see it in my battle picks because I really want to read this. It's like a enemies to lovers, rival apothecary shops thing going on. I'm really excited about it, but I am reading Green Teeth first. I'm actually buddy reading with Leandra to chapter 4, page 40, and so far I'm really liking this book. It is what I wanted it to be. So this is kind of like a T. Kingfisher-esque book, but really cozy, but with Welsh folklore tied in. It's not just Welsh. I know there is some other folklore from other British Isles and stuff, but I'm so excited. I'm so happy this one got picked because, like I say, I was going to be planning to read this anyway when it came out, so very excited I had this excuse to be reading it. But it does say on the back that we are following Jenny Greenteeth. Jenny lives in her river and she has lived there for ages, and she's very particular about keeping it clean, and she is used to people throwing things into her river. She normally takes them as like, well, they're offerings for me to eat, thank you very much. But one day they throw a witch into her lake and she's thinking to herself, but I'm not particularly hungry right now. I don't really want to eat a witch. Oh, I don't know if I can be bothered to do that. So she goes to investigate the witch, sees that the witch is trying to keep herself alive with this little magic spell with a bubble of air in her hand, realises this is not going to work for long, and she's kind of looking at her like, what are you going to do? You know, you've been thrown into this water. There's loads of people out on the riverbank and they seem to be shouting and doing weird things, but then humans are weird. And she's just kind of watching this witch, and then the witch eventually falls unconscious at the bottom of the lake. And so she decides, okay, let me take you to my cave, and starts taking her there. And it's so funny. I definitely think the first chapter really reminds me of Someone You Can Build a Nest In and how Shesheshin acts. Because again, we're following Jenny. She is not human. She is this folklore. Let me get up what folklore it is actually. I meant to check that before I did this. Folklore that is referred to as like a river hag. I'm just trying to see what folklore it is from, whether it says English. When the witch comes to, she's like, oh, get away from me, hag. And Jenny's like, excuse me, my name is Jenny and I'm not a hag. Like, it's really fun. So you're seeing, because in Someone You Can Build a Nest In, you're following the character which is a monster, and then in this you're following someone that is kind of seen as a monster by humans, but you know, she's just a fairy folk creature. You know, she's one of the low folk, but she's still a fairy folk. But she decides to help out this witch because the witch explains, she gives her this story, again this is all like within the first couple chapters, about, and actually on the back, about how there is this new pastor that's come in and has basically going around telling all the villagers how they're all going to go to hell and that witches, they need to be gotten rid of and things. And so in the end, people go to this character, what was her name again? I'm saying all of this. Oh, Temperance, and she gets accused of witchcraft. She doesn't get a chance to say anything in her defense. Her husband's not able to say anything in her defense. The pastor just decides, look, she is a witch, she must be condemned, and then attaches her in iron shackles and throws her into the river to die. And then Jenny comes along, rescues her, and decides, I'm going to help you out because why not? And Temperance hatches this plan and says, hey Jenny, will you help me? And that's where it's going to go from there. From what they need to do, the materials they need to acquire for Temperance to do this spell, to rectify what's going on in the village. It sounds a little bit like Nettle and Bone-esque, where at the start of Nettle and Bone, our character has to try and get all of these impossible materials and it sets off this quest. So I can see the links back to Team Kingfisher. Also, like I already said, the mention of someone you can build a nest in, how it really reminds me of that book. Like, it's just really fun. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm very excited to carry on with this. I need to read that last chapter, then send my thoughts to Leandra. And I love our buddy reads, they're so much fun. But before I go, I wanted to do my segment that I've been doing in the videos where I try and guess who's given me the recommendations. The problem is, because you've only got the one book to go off, I actually have no clue. I was thinking about it and I was going through it yesterday, going over and over the list, comparing it to the other books that have been recommended to me as well, because obviously the person that recommended me Arrival Most Vile cannot be the same person as week 3 because they already recommended it to me then, so it's got to be a different person. But that didn't leave me with a lot of room, like I've got no idea. So in the end, I just went, let's just try. So I went with Sam recommended me Green Teeth. Jane still, I think, is possibly Victoria, but I'm not reading that book. The Delicate Dream Department Store, I think, was Leandra. Could have been Rainy, but I feel like potentially Leandra, which I decided not to go for. I actually had to read it for an Instagram book club that I'm a part of, and I honestly wasn't that big a fan. I read like a bit of it, but then kind of flicked through the rest. Like, it wasn't really my cup of tea, but I hadn't read it at the time these options were given to me. But when I saw Arrival Most Vile, which I think Rainy suggested, I'm gonna say Rainy suggested that one, I decided to go for that because I was gonna go for Green Teeth regardless because I'm so excited for this one. And then I was debating between Delicate Dream Department Store because I had to read it anyway for the book club, so I was like, that's 2 birds 1 stone. But then I saw Arrival Most Vile and I was like, no, I really wanted to read that for week 3. So now I get a second opportunity to read it. So I decided to go with that one. I mean, I'm happy with all of the options. I think that's, I mean, it could be completely wrong. I genuinely have no idea. But yeah, Jane still is like a slightly more horror leaning retelling of Jane Eyre. The Delicate Dream Department Store is like this cozy Korean fiction book, which is about literally a dream store people can go to like shop dreams and stuff. Like, it was fine, a bit absurd and stuff. It's just the writing style I couldn't get into. That's what I think. So Sam, if you did recommend me this one, thank you so much, great choice. Whoever recommended it to me, thank you so much, great choice. I'm just gonna go with, I think it's Sam, and then I think Rainy for Arrival Most Vile, but again, I could have that completely wrong. It's just been really fun to do this so that when I can find out who recommended me what to see whether I'm right. And again, put in your comments below who you think's recommended what. That would be really fun to do. But now I'm going to go. I've got lots to do today. I will check back in probably when I'm about halfway through the book to let you know how I'm feeling about it. But so far, based on this intro, I'm gonna say it's an easy 4-star read. I'm really enjoying it. It has potential to go higher. So yeah, I'm having a grand old time with this competition. Thank you so much for joining, and I will check back in with you probably in a couple days time. Okay, I think I spoke enough. much halfway through Green Teeth. I'm up to chapter 12, page 144, and I'm having such a good time with this book. It is so much fun. It very much feels like we have the characteristics of Shisheshin within Jenny, which I'm loving because I really like Jenny as a character. I really enjoy how she doesn't see things as a human. Just some of the stuff that she comes out with is just hilarious, and I really like it. It works really well for who Jenny is, so I'm loving Jenny as a character. But then the book itself really does remind me of a lighter version of Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. So I'm having the best time. More fun and with a lot of folklore added in. It is fantastic. And we do have lots of different folklore added in, which I'm really enjoying. Going into fairy, where we have the fairy doors, which is reminiscent of Emily Wilde, which is something that Leandra pointed out, that I was like, actually, yes, the fairy doors work in the same way they do in Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which again is really good. So this is just a really good fun book. Like, I can't say I've had anything in this book that I would have changed so far. It is very fun, very entertaining. We've got the classic folklore trope of we've got 3 tasks that we need to accomplish before we can vanquish the evil that is in this book, and I like that. Like, it works because it's staying true to those folklore elements, but with the banter and the friendship building between these different people that are coming together, and I love it. I think it is so much fun. It works really well. It's a little bit ridiculous in places. You've got the fun. Now, look, is this more of like a traveling story? We start off with Temperance being thrown into Jenny's Lake, which then starts off this quest. And we've got them traveling into Fairy to try and get help. Then they've got to travel to this other place to complete a task, to travel back to Fairy to be told what the second task is, to travel out to do that second task, and then they're going to have to travel back. So it's a lot of to-in and fro-in, but I don't mind that because, again, that's kind of reminiscent of folklore tales anyway. I don't mind that, but I guess that's something that people can be aware of just in case. But I think it works. I think it really works well, and I enjoy it. Like, are there some little conveniences here and there? Sure. Do I mind that? No, because I mean, this is more of like a cozier book as well, which is fine for those conveniences. Like, it just doesn't bother me. Like, I'm having such a good time with this and I am enjoying everything. And the thing is, it's one of these books where I'm like, I'm having such a good time. I've got nothing really negative to say. So what do I say apart from I'm really enjoying the book? Like, it's just good. I like the different elements, I like the writing style, I like the different characters, I like how they all feel slightly different, and it just really works. Like, I think this is a very fun book. So yeah, I just don't have anything negative to say. And even when, like, the voice notes and stuff to Leandra, that's literally all I'm saying is, oh, this was really funny. And then we go into a little bit more detail because obviously we're both reading those bits, so we can talk about those particular things that we found funny or different things that are happening. But obviously I don't want to do that on here because it's spoilers and I want you to read this book. It just works. It works really well. I'm enjoying it. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a really good solid book. Like, I cannot see this book going down in rating, and honestly, if it carries on the way it's going, it could definitely easily be a 4.5 because I don't have any complaint. Is it going to be a new favourite of all time? No. But I am also really enjoying it. Like, this is a book I could happily reread. This is a book I would recommend to people, especially if they are after something a little bit like Someone You Can Build a Nest In minus the romance, or something like a T. Kingfisher book but make it slightly lighter and funnier. And, well, I don't know actually, because T. Kingfisher has a really good humour in their book. They also have characters that are a little bit older, so I feel like, yeah, this is very reminiscent of T. Kingfisher, and I'm very happy with that. I've got nothing extra to say to what I've said about everything because I really enjoy it. We've got folklore, we've got writing style that reminds me of T. Kingfisher's work, which I enjoy because T. Kingfisher is one of my favourite authors, and then we've got a character which I really, really enjoy. Jenny is fantastic, and to be fair, all of the characters are really well done in this. I'm enjoying the quest nature of it, and also what I quite like about this is the folklore elements of this book. Like, it doesn't shy away from the darker nature. So, like, when they first meet some of the Fae, like the higher fae. They're like, at first, they're kind of taken in by the beauty of it all, and then they see, actually, look how cruel this all is. It looks beautiful, but take a second look and you'll see the cruel nature of it all. But it makes sense. And it works because that's true to different folklore. Like, that is what they're like. They are cruel in terms, like, but it's who they are as nature. Like, they're not human. They're not necessarily doing things because it's right or wrong. It is just their nature. And I really like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying this book a lot. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. And I've waffled on for 8 minutes just repeating that I'm liking this book. One of those things where it can be difficult to talk about something because you don't want to go into spoilers, but there's nothing negative to say, so you're not like picking it apart and going, oh well, this could have been improved, or I'm liking this. Like, it's just something I can go, this is a good book, it's got elements that I'm really enjoying, and I'm just, yeah, having a grand old time. So this is working really well. I'm really pleased that this got chosen. Considering this is a debut book, it is so well written. I cannot wait to see what Molly O'Neill comes out with next. It would have to take something quite drastic for me to then lower the rating of this book, or for me to feel like, oh no, that was unnecessary, because genuinely I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to continue to enjoy this book a lot. Right now though, I have to update another Battle of the Booktuber video because I started a Kindle book for one of the other videos, which is week 2, and well, it's been an interesting time. I'm gonna have a lot more to say than I've just enjoyed it, because that would not be true. Which, if you haven't seen it, all the videos on that are linked below. It's been a time. Right, I'm gonna go do that, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Totally forgot to update you that I finished Green Teeth. Like, I genuinely thought I'd spoken about it, which I had. I'd spoken about it with Leandra when we finished reading this. We were giving all our final thoughts and things, and I said what my rating would be and stuff because I was talking it over with her. It was that conversation that really helped me nail on the new way of rating books that I'm going to be doing. Whether I've continued it into July, I don't know, but I'm testing it out in April. Just spoke about it in, for you, what will be last week's Battle of the Booktuber video, so I'm not going to go back into it, but that was really good. So like, we'd had all this discussion, so I just kind of assumed that I had updated here, but I hadn't. And it wasn't until I was looking at the next book I was going to read for Battle of the Booktuber, looking at the fact that I had 2 left, which order did I want to read them in, decided I want to read the next book for this video, that I then realised, oh, I've never actually finished my final thoughts or ratings for this one. So let's do that. To be honest, where I last updated, nothing extra happened to change how I'm feeling about this, and I can't really talk about anything without going into spoilers, so I'm not going to, but it can just say that it continued being a good book. There were moments in this book where it could have delved a little bit deeper. I think there were definitely scenarios where we could have had deeper conversations around it. That was a bit of a missed opportunity, but I did really enjoy my read of this book. I thought it was really well done. I'm really intrigued to see what else Molly O'Neill comes out with, because I think it was good. I think for a debut book, this was very well done, and I do stand by what I said about this being like a tea kingfisher. If you like tea kingfisher, give this a try. I did enjoy it. The ending got a little bit dark in places, which I thought was really well done, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was good. I want to see what the author comes out with next, and yeah, it was just good fun. It is a book that I would recommend to people if you want a folklore story that's a little bit lighter, tea kingfisher-esque, with a main character that reminds me of Shesheshin from Someone You Can Build a Nest In, which I just think is a great combination. Like, I genuinely think this was good. I really, really liked Jenny as a character. I loved following her perspective and seeing the way she processed things, seeing her frustrations and things. Like, it was just done so well. So the rating I've settled on for this is a low 4 stars. So it's coming out at 4 stars, but a low 4 stars, which with my new rating system, it would technically be a 3.75, but I'm not doing 0.25 ratings for these. I'm only doing half or whole, and it definitely deserves the 4 star over the 3.5 because I do think this book was really well done. Like, I genuinely did enjoy it. It was what I wanted. It did everything I expected it to. It didn't exceed them. like the expectations that I had for this book, but it did meet them, and so I'm very happy with that, and so it definitely deserves a 4 stars. But now we're moving on to the next book for this video, which is Arrival Most Vile, and that one is by R.K. Ashwick, and this is actually the start of a series which I'm really excited about. And I did start this book very, very briefly at work, but barely got into it, so I am up to page 29. It is chapter 4, barely into this book, but I'm really liking it. It's so cutesy and fun. So we're in this fantasy world and we're following 2 main characters. The first one you meet is Ambrose. Now he is a very meticulous potion maker. He likes things done in a certain way, has to be done, like his displays and things like this. Like he has a potion shop where he's selling his different potions that he makes, and everything is to perfection in the way that he likes it. He is a half elf, and in this world we've got, what is going on with the lighting today? I don't know what's going on with the lighting, I'm so sorry. But he's half elf, and in this world you've got elves, you've got orcs, you've got humans, you've got loads and loads and loads of different creatures and stuff, which is awesome. There is a new shop opening across the road from him, and everyone, so all the other like local shop owners, are taking bets as to what this shop is going to be, and then they see it open and they realize it's another potion shop, which Ambrose is not happy with at all. Enter Eli. Now Eli is the new potion shop owner. He didn't realize that there was another potion shop here. When he was getting like the deeds to the shop and everything, like the person didn't tell him there's another potion shop. When he was looking at maps and things, like shops were not put on the map, so he had no way of knowing there was another potion shop. But he is really lovely and sweet. He's thinking about how on earth can I make this work? How can I rival him? Because Ambrose, when he eventually goes to introduce himself, which he's kind of forced into, he really looks down on his nose at Eli, because he's like, well, who were you apprenticed by? And Eli's like, no, I wasn't apprenticed, I did like a little college thing. And Ambrose is like, right, and your guild, you're going to eventually apply for the guild? And Eli's like, no, I'm not really that bothered about it. And Ambrose is like, looking down on him over it, which makes Eli feel like crap. And Ambrose is like, so you're gonna move then? You're gonna sell up and move? You're not gonna stay here? And Eli's like, no, why would I do that? I've just bought this place. You see how expensive this stuff is, right? And so now we have this rivalry between the 2 potion shop owners that are across the road from one another. And honestly, I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. This is so cute and I'm having so much fun with it. And I'm just really excited. So yeah, I know I'm really in the mood for this sort of book as well, so that's definitely helping. So I'm really excited to see the romance that's going to blossom. And then we have another one that's coming, which is something to do with cauldrons. I'm not sure if it's going to be following the same people, if it's going to be different. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it, but very excited for this for a start of a series. I think it's going to be really fun. So I am planning to, after finishing this update, go and put some food on and just relax to this book, because I am only reading 1 book at a time at the moment. I'm going to try and do that for a little while. We'll see if I continue it, if I go back to my multiple book ways, but for now I'm only reading this book. So I'm going to be chilling out with my Kindle, reading this book and focusing on it until I get it finished. I will do another update probably when I'm about halfway through, because it's not that long a book, 330 pages, but obviously you've got acknowledgements and things at the end. So yeah, I'll probably update when I'm about 150, whatever chapter is close to that, and let you know what I think of it and how we're feeling. But honestly, my predictions for this is it's an easy 4-star, and we'll just see whether it can go up from there or whether it's going to stay as a 4-star. But easy 4-star from the vibes, from the world, the rivalry that's happening, the characters. Like, yeah, I can definitely see this being an easy 4-star. So that's great. But okay, right, I am actually getting really hungry, so I'm gonna do some food, and yeah, as I said, I will check back in soon. it's been a couple of days and I haven't actually read as much of Arrival Most Vile as I thought I would have. To be fair, I really didn't read much yesterday. Instead, yesterday I went book shopping at my local bookshop, got a few goodies, and then me and my partner, we did some hot pot and chilled out with that. That's something we're going to try and do once a month because we enjoy making it. Honestly, it's so good and it's so much cheaper than going to the restaurant. That was really good. So I really didn't read much, and then today was quite a busy day at work, so I haven't had a chance to read, but I am hoping to finish out Arrival Most Vile tonight. I'm in the middle of a chapter. Let me see if I can work out where I am. So I'm on chapter 18. It's doing its weird thing where it's telling me I'm on like page 2000 out of 4000 and something. I'm 45% of the way through the book. So hopefully I can finish this out today. We'll see. But I'm enjoying this. This is just really cute and fun. It is just that. So we've got the two different perspectives. We've got Ambrose, who has had the Griffin's Claw for ages. It's this potion shop. It's been in the same little street for like 200 years or something, and he's been there since he was 8 years old, being trained up to take over this potion shop. He is a master potioneer and very good at what he does. Ambrose being grumpy, and he's like, oh, he's stealing all my sales and all of this stuff. And then you've got Eli, who's trying to be really sunny and lovely and get to grips with this new town and meet all the people and get involved with the community, and him and Ambrose get off on the wrong foot straight away. And he's constantly trying to be like, let's restart, and it just never works until the plot line of this, where they get called in by the mayor to work together to create a potion for his daughter's birthday, and they have 4 months to work on it, and they've got to work together, which is of course forcing them to actually have to talk to one another. And it's really cute and fun, and you see a lot of the reluctance on Ambrose's part, really not wanting to work with him. Eli's also not wanting to work with him because he's just like, well, you're just rude. Why would I want to work with you? But you know what? They both need this money. Eli needs to pay off all the bills from opening up his shop in the first place, and Ambrose wants the money because he wants to do all these renovations on the shop because it's coming up to the 200th birthday or something for the shop. So, you know, they both need this money. They're both in competition with each other, and it's just so much fun because they're so completely opposites about how they sell, what they sell as well. Like, what they sell is kind of similar, but you have Ambrose doing the very elite high-end stuff and Eli doing the lower stuff, but it's causing big competition between the two of them. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's really fun. Expecting a third act breakup. I'm expecting everything to go very well and they end up together at the end of it, but like, it's cute and fun, and so I'm just like, why not? I'm enjoying it. Like, it really is just very wholesome, easy read. Like, I don't have to focus on the plot. I don't need to really worry about all, like, keeping track of different things, because it's really just very much a simple romance, but it's cute. So I'm having a good old time, and there are some moments in there where they're having to do certain things that adds a little bit of like tension to things, but it's nothing too much. It very much is a cozy fantasy romance. That's what this book is, and I like it. I really am enjoying it. So yeah, I can think this is good fun. I think that's where I am with like fantasy romance. I really do like the cozier side of fantasy romance. Like, don't get me wrong, a bit of angst here and there is good, but I think for me, I'm always like, I've read books like this. Like, I like Holly Black, read all the Sarah J Maas books. I've got a few other books that I've in the middle of reading and stuff, and so I like those, but I enjoy and have the most fun with the more cozier side to it. So yeah, this is just, it's just good. And like other books, like India Holton books and things like this, Arrival Most Vile would fit in really nicely with those sort of books. So if you like those sort of like Dream Harbour series, or India Holton's 2 different series, or what else have I got? Can't think of things off the top of my head right now, but if you like those sort of cuter, lighter fantasy romance books, you're gonna like this, and I'm liking it. So I think it's sticking at a 4 stars. I don't think it's gonna get higher than a 4 stars, but I'm not expecting it to get any lower either. It really is just fun, cute, light reading, which, you know what, I like that. I like that, especially for me currently. I'm on my early shifts. Actually, I've just finished my early shifts. It's my last one. I get 5 days off, especially just like on my early shifts. It's a nice, easy, head empty, no thoughts kind of book that I can just have a giggle at, and it works. it works for that really well, so I'm very happy with this. So yes, this is sitting at 4 stars, very comfortable 4 stars at the moment. But yeah, it's just really fun, really light, fluffy, easy read. It's a book I can easily pick up and put down as well. Like, I stopped in the middle of chapter, that's absolutely fine, because I know when I get back to it, it's not like I'm going to be confused where I left off, because it's such easy breezy reading. But before I go, I want to show you the books I got. So I went into the bookshop yesterday, and to be honest, I went in with the idea to order a couple of books, because I ordered, so I think in the last 3 days I have been in the bookshop every day. I initially went in to order one book, and then realised yesterday, wait a minute, I was meant to order these 2 other ones as well, so let me go and order those. And while I was in there, I did a little bit of browsing. And the first book I picked up is My Heavenly Favourite by Lucas Readingearthnymph, and this is translated by Michelle, is it Michelle Hutchinson? Or Michelle? Yes, Michelle Hutchinson. And this is translated from Dutch. And I just am really intrigued. I saw the cover and I really liked this cover. It's like simple but intriguing. And I read the first couple of lines and I was like, you know what? Yes, let's just read this book and get it. The first couple of lines: in the tempestuous summer of 2005, a local veterinarian becomes enraptured by a 14-year-old farmer's daughter, his favourite, as he tends her father's cows. This deeply troubled soul is our narrator, a man who believes he offers the object of his love a tantalising path out of the constrictions of her conservative rural life, a chance to escape to a world of fantasy. But the obsessive reliance he cultivates becomes a terrifying trap, with a crime and a confession at its heart that threatens to rip their small community apart. And apparently it's done really, really well. So I'm very excited to give it a try. This author's also done The Discomfort of Evening, which I remember doing the rounds a little while ago. So I'm just intrigued. I'm just intrigued to give it a try. I do tend to really like obsession stories, and this has reminded me of a couple of other books. I mean, obviously it's reminded me of Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, of course. I'm still really intrigued. And while I was in there, I was having a good old chat with one of the booksellers who I get on with really, really well. We always have a good little chat. And they had a copy of The Crimson Moth by Kristen Cicerelli, which they were going to be sending back for damaged, because this bit here, is it showing up on camera? Yeah, this little bit here, it got sellotaped. Basically the sellotape that was closing the box that had all the books in was stuck and it damaged the book, and they were going to send it back. And yeah, they said, hey, do you want a copy of this book for free? I was like, sure, why not? Because obviously this has been doing the rounds here on YouTube. So many people have been loving this book, so I am very intrigued. This is actually what I said, it's a fantasy romance book. But the reason why I think I'm gonna like this one is it's a witchy based one. It's not a fae based one, because I've got a series that I'm trying to finish which is a fae based romance, which is this series, the Artifacts of Uranus series. I've read the first 2 books. This is a series I do want to finish out, and it's fae fantasy romance. But this one is like witches. I think it's like a bit of a enemies to lover. Yeah, we've got the witch and then the witch hunter, and you know what, loads of people have been loving it, so why not give this one a try? I haven't actually read a book that has a witch and a witch hunter romance. I know there was a few that were popular a little while ago, but I never actually read them, so I'm intrigued to give this one a try, and I did get it for free, which is pretty awesome, so I'll definitely be reading that one at some point. And then today, one of the books I ordered did arrive, and that is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. This is Ashley Winstead's newest book, which I have been really excited to read, so I'm looking forward to hopefully reading this one soon. I can't remember which one I mentioned it in. Did I mention it in this? No, I mentioned it. I've just done another update for another video, so I can't remember which one but I mentioned in the other video, which you would have seen by now, ages ago, that I'm really in the mood for this particular book, and I'm hoping to try and get it onto my April TBR, because I haven't filmed that. It's due out in literally a few days time and I haven't even filmed it. I don't even know what I'm reading in April, like I haven't even thought about it, but I am really in the mood for this. Like, in all honesty, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm reading Arrival Most Vile and I want to finish that book tonight, I would 100% be starting this, because I'm really, really in the mood for it. But I'm gonna be good. We're gonna see if I can get onto my April TBR instead, and if I can't get onto my April TBR, I'm probably gonna read it anyway, because I'm just really in the mood for this. We have this group of people, they're into true crime, they go to investigate this crime that happened a year ago, and they start discovering things about it. Look, I don't really know. I don't want to know. I want to go into it blind. I know I like Ashley Winstead books. That will do for me, you know? So a very random mix of books, but I am very happy with them. We have a thriller, we've got a fantasy romance, and then would this count as a thriller or would it be like a literary obsession story? I'm not sure. But it just says, one of the things it said on the back, one of the blurbs, it was, the whirling delirium of its cyclone force prose traps you in a nightmarish vortex. I was floored by this novel. Unholy brilliance. I'm intrigued to give this a try. Honestly, I'm kind of intrigued for all of these, so you never know. Maybe I would have read them by the time this video comes out and they were all in my April TBR. Who knows? That's where we are with the reading updates, with the book buy-in. I'm just having fun. Like, I'm just in a really good reading mood. I want to read a bit of everything right now. But yeah, that is everything that I wanted to talk about right now. So I will just check back in when I have finished Arrival Most Vile. It has been ages since I last updated for this video. I don't know what it was. So basically, I finished reading pretty much all the books I needed to read Battle of the Booktuber, and at the very end of the last book for this series. I don't know, I then just stopped doing the wrap-ups. So I've had to do like 3 wrap-ups because I just kind of didn't do them, but we are at the end. I don't know where I got to when I last spoke to you about Arrival Most Vile, but I finished that. I will say I'm a little bit bummed about it. I think the first half of the book I absolutely loved. It was really fun and enjoyable, and look, it wasn't ever going to stay with me, but I was considering continuing on with the series. Like, it was just really fun. The enemies, well, not enemies, but like rivals to lovers. You got the potion shops and stuff. Like, I liked the world. I thought it was just a fun, easy little time. Then things took a turn, and it wasn't so much the conflict between the 2 love interests. It was actually to do with the best friend, and I did not like the way they went. I feel like they were not being a very good friend, and they were kind of selfish. Thing is, I actually don't like the word selfish, because being a little bit selfish is good. Having boundaries in place, things like that, is very good, but to the point of the way they were being, that they were almost being spiteful to people, I disagree with. I think you could make an argument of they were very stressed, you know, there's a lot going on and stuff, they weren't acting how they normally would. I still don't really agree with it. I think what they actually did, I can't agree with. Like, that was so wrong. I kind of got a bit frustrated because it felt like characters no longer felt like themselves, and that then did start affecting the other 2 as well. It's been such a long time, I've genuinely forgotten names, but the one that was the rival who opened up the potion shop, I don't know what happened. It just kind of was like, he just felt like he changed character a little bit towards the end there, and maybe that's just a me thing, but it just felt like, again, he got a little bit of out of character towards the end. I think I just would have preferred a slightly different ending. I feel like that change was made to be able to continue on, because I read the synopsis for the second book, and I feel like the synopsis for the second book can only happen if what happened at the end of the first book happened properly. I mean, there could be an argument. I don't know, I don't think I even agree with that anyway. I'm just gonna say I wasn't a fan of the ending, and I wasn't a fan of the conflict and how that all came about. I feel like the characters started acting in a way that wasn't true to them, and so that was a little bit of a shame. But overall I did enjoy this book, but I don't think I am going to carry on with the series, so I think I'm just going to settle on a 3.5. Like, this was nowhere near bad. I think it just went in a direction, I mean it did, it's not I think, it did go in a direction that I didn't love. Everything I said, like the first half of the book, everything I said about it, great, absolutely great. It's just the second half didn't quite work, and you know what, that's fine. But it does just mean that I don't think I'm going to carry on with this series. I'm still glad I read it, especially because again this was one that was recommended to me twice, so thank you for the 2 people that did recommend this. I do think if it wasn't just for how the ending went, this would have been a very solid 4-star read. Great recommendations overall. But yeah, that's kind of where I am with that one. So it's kind of weird, so I'm going to do a tiny bit of reflection on the fact that it's been the cozy books out of all this series that have got the lowest ratings from me, weirdly, apart from one couple that now that I'm doing my 3.75 ratings, I would have given 3.75 rather than the 4s. It's actually been the horror books that have been the standout books for me, which has been so interesting and has definitely got me reading a lot more horror this year, which I've really enjoyed, which I'm sure you've seen in previous videos for all of this. But yeah, it's really meant that I've really enjoyed reading horror, and those have been some of my favourite books of the year, so that's been really interesting to see. And honestly, I didn't expect it. I genuinely didn't think that cozy books would be my lowest rated out of this series, but there we are. Time to wrap up this video. So I did start off reading Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill, and I did really like this book. I think this is one of the 4 stars that I gave for this competition that I would actually give a 3.75. But because I started out the competition with just doing whole and half-star ratings, this book is not low enough to be a 3.5. So I am happy to give it that 4 stars, as I first said with this book. It's just upon reflection with the way I do things, this is a low 4-star, which for me is now a 3.75. It was good. I really enjoyed this one. We already know everything I've said about it, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on whatever Molly O'Neill comes out with next, and I'm really pleased that I read this one for the competition. That was really good. I really enjoyed that, and as I've already mentioned, Arrival Most Vile being 3.5. But that does bring us to the end of this Battle of the Booktuber battle recommendations, and just the end of Battle of the Booktuber. There is going to be a live show. I'll put the date on screen. I'm not sure when it is, but yeah, very excited for all of that. I cannot wait to watch everybody else's videos. Oh, it's gonna be such a good time. I hope that you've been enjoying this series. Thank you so much to Danny for putting this all together. It has been a phenomenal time, and all of my competitors, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see who's actually won this, but regardless of who wins, I am so grateful that it has brought me closer to all of you and the friendships that have been formed. Like, I just think it has been absolutely amazing. So yeah, definitely the highlight of my year. And that's the thing, like, the highlight of 2024 was Battle of the Booktube for me. Gonna be the same again this year because I've just really loved it. Cannot give enough credit to Danny for creating something so unique and fun, but also for introducing me to people that have become my friends. Like, it has meant so much. So yeah, it's been amazing. But right, before I keep going on and being all like sappy and stuff, I am gonna leave it there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this whole series and that you have been watching everybody else's videos. Let me know, who do you think is going to win in the comments below. And yeah, just genuinely thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I think if you made it this far, then let's put something green in the comments below. And yeah, if you just don't know what to comment, then you can put that. But a massive thank you to all of you that do take the time to watch these videos. Like, it really does mean a lot. Like, I truly appreciate it. And an extra special thank you to all of my Patreons. The end screens may not be up to date with everything that's going on. I'm trying to do those end screens as close to the time as possible, but if anyone's joined since then, I'm sorry your names haven't been on these ones. Again, massive thank you to you all. And yeah, that's it. So as always for these videos, I'm going to have the playlist for Battle of the Booktuber linked below, all of the competitors, everything is going to be linked below, as well as my Discord and Patreon if you're interested. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribing and commenting. Those three things will really help this channel out. And yeah, I will catch you in the very next video. I feel like I fumbled that a little bit. But it's fine. Editing Kirsten will put this together. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.